Hi everybody, Google Arts and Culture is another wonderful Google application that comes with G Suite that not a lot of people know about, and so that's kind of why I wanted to spend some time talking about it as well. On the website, I included just a couple of videos. Some discuss kind of how to use it within a classroom, and then some just go over the basic features that Google Arts and Cultures has. I included a lesson plan here that goes over a reading with social studies integration lesson plan for fifth graders, kind of talking about what the civil rights movement is, and then going along with our read aloud is Watson's Go to Birmingham, which deals all about kind of civil rights and things of that sort. So it kind of hits two birds with one stone. During this lesson, they're reading the book and they're discussing the civil rights movement and kind of how it has impacted the Watsons as they go on this trip to Birmingham. Within this lesson, I pull up a Google Arts and Cultures page that deals with civil rights movement, has dates, has various stories, historical events, and there are just tons and tons of images that they can flip through, videos, stories, all of that they can read that were all happening during the civil rights movement. I find with my students that even though we're reading fiction, it kind of gives them a better idea of what's happening in the story because they're able to kind of see those real life images of what really happened, which is the biggest reason I love arts and culture part of Google Suites is because I feel like it really gives students that real life perspective, especially where some students who just grow up who don't have the education of some things or have not been exposed to certain things. This is a safe and engaging way for them to be exposed to those concepts. This is another one that I typically show a lot, 8 incredible views from the tallest skyscrapers. I actually do this with various math lessons. I will pull up an image to kind of help guide their questions. You can build math problems around any of these images. Typically, I use like the skyscraper ones for volume. For measurements, we talk about, how you would measure this, what would be appropriate measurements, things like that, just to kind of get the conversation sparking. But then it's still a fun and engaging way for them to be involved in the math. Even though it is an arts and culture website, there are ways to kind of implement it into all school subjects. Social studies, obviously, there are thousands and thousands of pictures of history for all events. Reading, I feel like it ties students to the actual reading, whether we're reading nonfiction or fiction. It really draws them in and gives them a realistic understanding of what's going on in that time and place and what that time and place looks like. Writing, sometimes it's fun to kind of help students spark ideas. I may show them an image from here and have them write a story about what they think is happening. Or I'll find a piece of art and they have to write a story about that piece of art. It tends to kind of help get their creative juices going, keeps them engaged. They're excited because all of their stories are going to be different. So it's something that they really enjoy sharing. Math, again, I kind of talked about a little bit. They're using this image to set a problem. And another thing with Google Arts and Cultures is they do have these virtual field trips available that are so cool to go on. That would be something that would be even fun to do as like a reward in a virtual classroom or something to fill, the last 5 minutes of the day with, or 5 minutes before lunch that you happen to have, things of those sorts. So there's really so many different applications that you can use with Google Arts and Cultures. That is all I have for Google Arts and Culture. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.